Hi and welcome back to reviews, fixes and hacks. And as in my previous video, I've got the motor which I've basically refurbished. So the way I've refurbished is I've cleaned all the carbon residue, dirt, dust from inside. The carbon is conductive, so it can cause a short or sparking. And the carbon, where does it accumulate from? It accumulates from the wearing of the carbon brushes. So the carbon brushes on the existing one, as you'd seen in my previous video, had worn away, and they were to such an extent that there were about that much left. So if you look at a new one, you can see the length on that, and the carbon brushes that were, in fact, once I take this out, you'll see it, they're substantially a lot smaller. So here I've got some new ones. You can see what they are. They're about 42 millimeters, I think, in length. And to change them, basically on this side, I've got the carbon, I've taken the clip off. So all I've done is pull that, it's come off. And then what you do is you push that back. As you can see, it's pushed back, and then you lift and you pull forward. And then there it is, pops up. And this one, I've messed about with it a bit and it's come off. So I need to just check. Yeah, and if you look at that, there it is. Look at the length of that, basically. So if I get this, I'll put that there, and I'll get a new one out of this packet. If we get one of these new ones out, and what you can see is here's the length. So old, new, and you can quite easily see the substantial difference in the length. So this is really worn out, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, it definitely needs a change. Definitely needs a change. Well, what I'm going to do is obviously now change it. Now, as you may have seen, is when I pulled this out, it was facing downwards, wasn't it? I better check that. Basically, what you gotta remember, see the chamfered edge? Yeah, whichever direction that comes out of, that is the same direction you need to put in. Now, because I've dismantled it a few times, I know that with this part spindle pointing towards my direction, I know that on the dismantling and so on, I made a mental note that basically this chamfered edge points down. So on this side, it's pointing downwards, and what you need to do is make sure that that is exactly how the new one goes in. So for me, that chamfered edge needs to be pointing down. So there's the chamfered edge, it's pointing down, it goes in, and then what you do is, just in reverse order, basically put it back in. And again, as you put it in, what you need to make sure is you slide this underneath. So if I take this back out just to show you, you slide it in the back part, rear part. Once you slide it in, you just clip it back forwards and it clips back in, just in reverse order of how you take it out. And that's how you do a refurbishment of, well, a carbon bush change. All I would say is just make sure that when you put these in, that they move fairly freely. So once you put it in, so I'm just gonna slide that back in. Let me see. There it is. There it is. Just make sure that, look, there's very little resistance and it's easy to move up and down. If it's not, what you can do is just get a file or a bit of sandpaper and just sand it ever so slightly down, because what you want is you need to make sure there is no sticking points. Basically, it is able to move freely. If there's any sticking point, that's where you're going to have a bit of a problem, and that can result in basically problems with the motor. As it's as this is wearing down, it needs to be able to push forwards. Just be mindful of that, and as long as you do that, to be honest, I don't see any problems with it. And that's it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, hope it helps, and you know what, just like and subscribe and keep an eye out for future videos. Anyway, thank you for watching and all the best.